What up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan, welcoming y'all back to the episode 6 of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. It was a good week for the NFC East, man. Actually, it was a good week, man. Finally, the first time this season, all three teams, three of the four teams actually won their football games. The first winning record the NFC East has had this season. What's going on, Sunday? How you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. What's going on, Joe? How you doing, man? But yeah, this was a good week for the NFC East. Finally, like I said, finally above 500 for the NFC East in one weekend, man. Eagles came up a little bit short, but it wasn't from a lack of effort, man. They actually played Kansas City really tough. We'll be getting to that pretty soon, man. What's good, Reek? But so like I said, so it was the first solid. What's going on, Coach Dante? It's a good solid week for the NFC East, man. Like, you know what I mean? First weekend, I've been you know what I mean, pretty happy, pretty proud of what was going on with all the action this weekend. We're gonna get right to it, man. With the first game we're gonna talk about is the Dallas Cowboys hosted the Carolina Panthers on Sunday, and this was a fun one, man. They were going tit for tat early on in this game, man. Cowboys and the Panthers was going at it, man. I feel like I wish Christian McCaffrey wasn't hurt for this one because it might have been a little different outcome possibly, man. He might have been enough for Carolina to make a difference in this game. Because Sam Darnold, I tell you what, he gave it everything he had, man. But Dak, man, he didn't have off the chart numbers as far as yards, man. But the little bit of yards he had, man, they were effective, man. They were definitely effective. I mean, Dak went 14 to 22, 188 yards, but he threw for 4 touchdown passes. So at the end of the day, even though he threw for less than 200 yards, he made the most of the yards he threw for, man. Zeke is starting to wake up, man. He ate. He was definitely eating on Sunday, man. 20 carries for 143 yards. Pollard added another 67, man, on the ground. The Cowboys has found their running game. They got it going, and they got a two-headed monster right now that's very, very dangerous, man. We'll be talking about that, obviously, a little bit later on, too. I mean, they had Dak spread the ball around well. Four different receivers scored the touchdowns, man. Scored the touchdowns for him. I mean, this was a fun game, man. Carolina was balling with them, man, for most of the first half, and then second half the wheels kind of fell off a little bit, man. Turnovers took Cowboys once again with these turnovers, man. Cowboys, like I said, you can move the ball on this Cowboy defense, man. Like I feel like they haven't really stopped anybody from just flat out moving the ball up and down the field on them. But I tell you what, man, they take advantage of their opportunities, man. This is a very opportunistic defense, and they lead the league in turnovers right now, man. They've already created 10 turnovers. Trayvon Diggs has 5 interceptions on the season already in 4 games. This young man is absolutely balling. He added 2 more on Sunday. He picked off Sam Darnold twice, man. Yeah, and the offensive line kept Dak clean as a whistle. He barely got touched in this game, and Carolina's defense has been ferocious the first few weeks of the season. So, yeah, this Cowboy team might actually be a problem for real, man. Like I wasn't not saying I was sleeping on them early before the season, but their defense is definitely better than expected as far as with just the fact that the turnovers they create, and their offense is just as good as advertised. Game 2. Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that, Sunday. I don't know how the referees missed that, man, but that's that Cowboy favoritism right there. We're going to watch out for that on Sunday ourselves. But I agree with that too, Joe. We're going to have to make that game untouchable by the referees, man. But I'll definitely be talking about that in a few, man. But yeah, overall, man, like I said, they kept, like I said, the offensive line, everything seems to be cooking for the Cowboys right now. So we're catching them at a tough time, man, because we're going to be going down there this on Sunday, and it's going to be a tough game, man, because the Cowboys right now got it clicking on all cylinders right now, man. I just got to admit that it's just facts. I'd just be lying to myself if I said otherwise, man. But they definitely got it going on, man. But I'm going to move on to the next game here, man. That was another very fun game. The Washington football team traveled down to the Atlanta Falcons team that took care of us the last week, man, 2 weeks ago on Eli Day, man. The Cowboys went down there and had an exciting game down in the Dome, man. Took Atlanta's best shot. I mean, I said when Washington went down there and took Atlanta's best shot, man. But Taylor Heineke had it going on once again, man. 23 of 33, 290 yards and 3 touchdown passes on the day for Taylor Heineke, man. That guy is looking more and more like a legit starting quarterback, more so than just a backup, man. I don't know. Washington, to me, don't look they need to be looking any other direction right now for a quarterback. This guy looks like he absolutely is the fit and the answer for right now, at least at quarterback for the Washington football team. And even when Fitzpatrick comes back healthy, I just don't see any way they're just inserting him back in the lineup with the way Taylor Heineke is playing. But on the ground, Washington collectively had 122 yards together between everybody, all their running backs, the quarterback. They had 122 yards on the ground. Gibson added the touchdown, and then Scary Terry, man, this guy is just each and every week he just emerging and improving that he is absolutely one of the legit best wide receivers in the business, man. 6 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. That's why we call that man Scary Terry, man. He is an absolute baller. Absolute baller, man. And then obviously, like I said, this game was very exciting all the way through, man, because it came out where Atlanta was actually busting their ass early, man, and then Washington made that fierce comeback, and then they just sealed the deal right at the end, man. McKissick, man, on that game-winning touchdown catch, man. He sold all the way out for that, man. He absolutely wanted it. It was the kind of intensity I wish we could see from our New York Giants every week. That intensity that McKissick had, that will to get into that end zone on that play. He absolutely sold out, put his body on the line, and made sure he crossed that goal line, man. Absolutely. And then once again, I'm going to touch on this Washington defense also, man. I'm over it now, man. They didn't even get a sack in this game. They didn't even sack Matt Ryan in this game, man. Oh, they had one. They had like 1 sack, I believe. This vaunted Washington defense everybody was talking about all season, how amazing it was going to be. Not even close, man. Right now, it is clearly and easily the most overrated defense coming into this season right now. Because if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty much on the lower end of the rankings all across the board, man. Chase Young, phenomenal talent, defensive rookie of the year from a year ago, still does not even have a sack on the season yet. It is week 5. What is going on, man? What's happening with that? I don't want to hear it until they step up and prove it. Nobody telling me about this Washington defense anymore, man. Because it is not, it's not, it wasn't as advertised. It's not that good. They are getting just absolutely shredded every week, no matter who they play. Absolutely getting shredded up, man. So I'm pretty much don't want to hear about that Washington defense anymore, man. So now we're going to move on to the Eagles hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, man. This game also, once another interesting game, man, because for what's it worth, we see the final score, 42-30, and everybody's easy to be like, they put up 40 points again 2 weeks in a row. That's not a good thing for the Eagle defense. But at the same time, this game was a lot more competitive than this final score might indicate throughout most of it, man. The Eagles gave Kansas City pretty much everything they can handle for the better majority of this football game. Jalen Hurts, man, played really, really well overall. Man, he missed a couple of key throws here when it really counted, but at the same time, he played really well overall. This young man honestly keeps impressing me a little bit more each and every week. He was 32 or 48 on the day, 387 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Actually had another touchdown pass called back. He had 2 touchdowns called back touchdown passes called back as a matter of fact. From penalties, man. One from the Devontae Smith for illegal touching, and I believe Dallas Goedert had scored a touchdown that got called back for offensive pass interference. So Jalen Hurts could have had 4 touchdown passes on the day, man. Young man is actually flat out balling, man. And to be quite frank, and I agree with that too, Sunday, man. That I didn't see the Chiefs losing 3 in a row either, but I was still surprised by the Eagles' effort in this game. I thought Kansas City was going to just go and completely blow the doors off of them. And the Eagles actually hung on them for most of the game until Kansas City kind of pulled away at the end. But I definitely agree. I didn't see Kansas City losing 3 games in a row. I just couldn't see that happening. But one thing I got to say about Nick Sirianni, man, I was like kind of looking at him the first couple of weeks like this guy might be on to something with this Eagle team, man. But then now these last couple of games, man, somebody needs to tell this guy that he has a guy on his team by the name of Miles Sanders, who, if you turn around and hand him the football, could actually be one of the best running backs in the NFL. You know, you do have that guy on your roster. And with the last couple of weeks, he's only ran the ball about like 9 carries in the last 2 games combined. That's not acceptable, man. That's for a running back of his caliber, that's nowhere near good enough. Not to mention you got your young quarterback. You got to help take more of the pressure off of him, man. You got a young team in general, and you got one of your best players you're just wasting away at this point. I mean, Kenny Gainwell, for what it's worth, stepped up and had a pretty solid game. But Miles Sanders is your fucking horse, man. You got to use him, man. You have to use that guy. You can't just keep going away from him, man. That's just absolutely ludicrous to me. A guy of that talent you're just flat out not using. Because for what's it worth in that game on Sunday against a team like that's your best weapon is your strong running game. A runner like Miles Sanders against a defense like that should have been controlling the clock on them, keeping their offense off the field. But I just didn't understand. And the same with the Cowboys the week before. It's just I don't understand how you're playing a team like that, and that's when you decide to go away from the running game. It's just insane to me. Jalen Hurts cannot continue to be your leading rusher week in and week out. That's not a recipe for success. Sorry. It's just not going to happen. You're gonna find out that that's just not a recipe to many victories, man. And Devontae Smith, once again, I'm still sorry that you're not a New York Giant because you should have been, young man. But the Eagles traded up in front of us and got you. And he went out there and he balled out, man. His first 100-yard game of the season. 7 catches for 122 yards. A touchdown that got called back. But the Eagles defense, man, it is pretty bad. And that pretty much goes for the defense in the NFC East, period, man. Pretty not very good defense getting played in this division all across the board. I mean, the Cowboys, like I said, make theirs looks a little better than what it actually is because the turnovers they create. But people are moving the ball on the Cowboys pretty much at will also. They just take the Cowboys just find ways to get that ball and turn that ball over, man. Other than that, they're just as bad as everybody else and every other team in this division defensively. It's the only thing holding them together, man. And like I said, like I mentioned earlier, Eagles 40 points 2 weeks in a row. I don't care who you playing against. You got to clean that up. Can't just be going around. I mean, you're going against another good team this week coming up. Not quite the offense the Cowboys or the Chiefs bring to the table, but at the same time, another good, solid team nonetheless is coming. Y'all got coming up this week, and you can't just keep going around giving up 40 points all willy-nilly. Y'all crazy, man. So gonna move on here, man. To the you know what, man? Because we all know what happened on Sunday. The New York Giants did a thing, man. New York Giants did a thing on Sunday. You finally pulled together, showed us some heart and some desire. And they pulled out a big W in overtime down in the Bayou. Yeah, I mean, it was a great. It started off a little rocky. I'm not even gonna lie. I was on Twitter, you know what I mean, acting a fool, you know what I mean, like lighting it up, you know what I mean, like just I wasn't confident. And when we got to the third quarter, I wasn't that confident. I'm not even gonna lie. I just thought it was gonna be another L, the same way we've been losing all season long, man. But that fourth quarter came on, man, and just something just happened, man. Something just happened all across the board, man. But on this day, man, Daniel Jones with a career day, man. 28 for 40, 402 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Then he had the interception he threw on the Hail Mary. No harm, no foul. Nobody cares about that interception because it was a harmless interception on a Hail Mary attempt. And and like I said, it was a career day for Mr. Jones, man. That one touchdown pass, they tried to take it away from him. The league reviewed it at some point earlier this week, apparently, and they have now decided that was indeed a touchdown pass to John Ross, not just a fumble recovery. So we got Daniel Jones, got the 2 touchdown passes on the day. We had Saquon Barkley looking like Saquon Barkley out there with 126 all-purpose yards, 52 on the ground, 74 receiving, 2 big touchdowns, including the game winner in overtime. Yeah, it looked good to see Saquon Barkley looking like his old self again out there, man. Getting that man out there and getting him out there in space, letting them create things, man. What's going on, Philly B? Letting them create things, man, and letting things just, letting things happen, man, making things happen, man. Both touchdowns were spectacular. The touchdown pass he caught, absolutely was just definitely the old Saquon Barkley. Then that game-winning touchdown run right in overtime, man, had it all on the line, man. And then Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, welcome to the New York Giant offense. Kenny Galladay finally had his first 100-yard day for the New York Giants, man. Collectively, these two combined went for 12 catches, 194 yards, man. Kadarius Toney once again proved this week why it's vital to get the ball in this man's hands. He is a legitimate playmaker. He's just going to find a way to get positive yards one way or another. Like I mentioned, I mentioned on my Aftermath show, Kadarius Toney had made a play, man, in that game, that underrated play. He only might have gained like about a yard on the play, but it was that little he was going to throw the ball. They pitched it back to him. He was going to look downfield to throw the ball. There was nothing there. He had enough smarts to realize I'm not going to just throw this ball in harm's way. Just tuck that thing and get what I can get. And he's only able to manage a yard, but at the same time, it's heads up plays like that lets me know that this kid is ready and he deserves to be on that field, man. Absolutely deserves to be on that field, making them plays, and I hope he gets even more involved in this offense this week. Daniel Jones actually missed him on a big long bomb. He could have scored his first touchdown. Jones couldn't quite connect with him, man. He actually broke wide open, man. So, Mr. Daniel Jones, for all the great throws you did, man, you got to remember, you got to be able to make that one too, bro. But at the same time, I'm not mad at you because we still won this football game, and you played amazing all the way through it, man. But yeah, those are the kind of plays we can't leave on the field, man. We're playing against good teams, man. We got away with that one this week. But I just got to mention it, you know what I mean? I got to play devil's advocate, and I got to mention it, man, because I can't just sit on here and just talk about all the good things about this game for the Giants. I had to mention some. I got to bring up a couple of little negatives here and there because the defense absolutely stepped up in the fourth quarter. Finally, for the first time, made some clutch stops when we absolutely need them to. But this defense absolutely flat out still needs work, man. I'd be lying to you, my audience, I'd be lying to, and I'd be lying to myself, to be quite frank, if I act like this defense still is where it needed to be. It is not. Jameis Winston, we did not get bad Jameis Winston. We got decent Jameis Winston, and we still managed to get by. Because he was still airing that ball out pretty much with ease on our defense, man. So we gotta figure out a way to get consistent on defense. The way we played in the fourth quarter of this game, we got to play all 4 quarters of every game that way. With that kind of heart, that kind of energy, man, at that level. Hopefully we'll continue to keep getting the real Saquon Barkley week in and week out because he looks like he's ready to go full go now, man. He ain't like he didn't like he was questioning that knee at all on Sunday. He was cutting and everything, doing everything like he was like his old healthy self, man. So that's good. And like I said, we keep getting this consistent Daniel Jones play. We got our franchise quarterback, man. No matter what anybody say. It's funny that nobody's talking about Jones too much this year. All of a sudden, offensive player of the week, by the way, NFC offensive player of the week, by the way. So shout out to Daniel Jones for that. Also, well deserved. Nobody talks about this kid anymore because it's almost like they don't want to speak positively of him. They want to be able to only speak negatively of him. And since they can't really do that right now, they just don't talk about him at all. You know what I mean? And it's okay. I'm fine with that. But I want you to keep it real. Like the same energy y'all come with when y'all talk about how bad he was with the turnovers and all this and that. Well, talk that turnover talk to me now. Kids got 2 on the season. And like I said, the one on Sunday was an interception on a Hail Mary attempt. So that basically don't even count. It don't even really count. That's not even really worth talking about. So keep up that work, New York Giants, man. I love that game in overtime. I was so hyped, man. The way y'all brought that energy in the 4th quarter, and then the Jabril Peppers at the coin toss, like he just said, man, the energy. You just knew it was a wrap. That he like, yeah, we want that MFer. You know what I mean? We wanted that. And we got that ball and took it right downfield. Didn't even get a Saints chance. That's what I'm talking about, Big Blue. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that was so definitely, like I said, a good week for the NFC East, man. Like I said, 3-1 on the week for the division. Eagles did come up a little short, but like I said, they played with a lot of good heart, good energy too, man. So I'm not going to sit here and dog them out, man. That just wouldn't be the right thing to do. Because they did, like I said, play with good energy most of the week, and they did come up short. So maybe next, it won't be possible for the NFC East to go undefeated this week. Obviously, as there's an NFC East matchup on the slate this week, and we'll be getting to that in a little bit. But yeah, now I am going to get into this week's action coming up. And we're going to start off with the Philadelphia Eagles. And they are traveling down to North Carolina to face them Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey has not been ruled out of this game yet. He actually did practice a little bit today, limited practice work, got some work in practice today. So he has not been ruled out of this game. Still wouldn't think very likely he's going to play, but you never know. It is only Wednesday, so he's not ruled out yet. And if he plays, that can make all the difference in the world in this game, man. Because like I said, Sam Darnold is proving each and every week that he was not the problem in New York. New York was the problem for him. Speaking of the New York Jets, that is. They were the problem to him. He wasn't the problem in New York. This kid looking like a legitimate franchise quarterback. He is out there absolutely balling. And he, to be quite frank, he might with or without Christian McCaffrey, might still be a little too much because him and DJ Moore got this connection right now, man. And they got it going on, clicking on all cylinders, man. I feel like DJ Moore's probably been over 100 yards in every game this season so far, man. I mean, that kid is absolutely balling, and he's already been good, but he's absolutely balling. What's going on there? He's absolutely balling, man. But if they get Christian McCaffrey back in there, man, that's going to really, truly make all the difference in the world in this game. And their defense, like I said, had a letdown, but they were also going against a juggernaut of an offense with the Cowboys on Sunday. So, like I said, they were playing tough with them for the early part of the game. It just got away from them in the second half. But that Carolina defense has been pretty ferocious other than on Sunday against the Cowboys. So I can see them kind of rehabbing a rebound week also. They did not get the Dak at all. And they're going to be itching to get to Jalen Hurts, man, and trying to force the kid to make mistakes. And tell you what, Eagles, man, if you don't turn around and hand that ball to Miles Sanders in this game a little bit more than you have been the last couple of weeks, I just don't know what else to tell you, man. But right now, Carolina, to me, with or without Christian McCaffrey, is still a better football team than the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm going to still predict them to win this game. I'm going to predict it as if Christian McCaffrey is not playing. And I'm going to say Carolina will win this game 22-17 in a close one, man. I think they'll nip the Eagles in a close one, though, without Christian McCaffrey. That might be I might have a different score prediction for this game if Christian McCaffrey is playing, however, though. But yeah, I just feel like they're just, no matter what, ultimately they're just a better team, and they're gonna still find a way to win this football game. At the end of the day, down at home in Charlotte, man, coming off of a loss. I mean, both teams are coming off of losses, but Eagles are scrappy, but they've been showing lots of signs of being pretty resilient and everything this season. But I still can't right now. I can't pick them to beat Carolina. I feel like Carolina overall is just a flat out better football team, and at home they're going to find a way to beat the Eagles ultimately. Yeah, that's about pretty much what I basically around about what I was just thinking. Like I said 22-17, but yeah, 21. It's like, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game somewhere in that realm Sunday, something like that. But get ready to move on. I'm going to move on to the next one, and that will be the New Orleans Saints traveling up here to Washington to meet the football team. Once again, Washington sporting a very overrated defense, and the Saints offense is pretty decent, man. And they're, after the way we beat the Saints on Sunday, I got a feeling they're going to be a little bit pissed, man. So as long as Jameis Winston plays composed, under control, I can't. I don't see why it's out of the realm. I think they're going to go up there. That they go up there and not beat Washington, man. I think they have a real good chance of knocking Washington out this week, man. Because I'm feeling, even though they're on the road, they'll be playing angry. They should be hungry, and they got a pretty good defense for what it's worth, man. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on this one either. But the Saints are pretty they can be explosive. This is the same team that week one blew the doors off of Green Bay. That's still their only loss on the season. So yeah, I put this Saints team into perspective, man. People might try to downplay this win the Giants had last week against them, but the New York Giants hadn't beaten the Saints down in New Orleans since 1993, I believe. I believe they said Howard Cross was talking about that. He scored a touchdown in the game the last time the New Orleans Saints lost to the Giants at home in New Orleans, man. So this is going to be definitely an angry New Orleans team, man. And like I said, this is a very, to me, highly overrated Washington defense. Jameis Winston is a little bit more of a sitting duck than Sam Darnold. Than Matt Ryan in the pocket, maybe. Not that much though. But Winston just does. He's not really a mobile quarterback. He's not a running quarterback. So he might be a little easier to get to, possibly. So they may be able to create a few more sacks in this game. But at the same time, I just haven't seen any consistency from this Washington team. And Heineke, he's been playing well. He definitely has been. But at the same time, will he have enough against this Saint defense? Like I said, this Saint defense is legit, man. They're definitely pretty ferocious, and they're not going to give you anything easy, man. So I think right now I'm going to pick the Saints in this one, man. I like the Saints in this one probably. I'd say say 24-20, man. Another close one, man. Because I just never know what you never know what you're gonna get out of Dan Winston, truthfully. If they use Taysom Hill the way he did against the Giants, that could also be a different factor. Because I don't expect the Washington football team's defense to miss tackles the way the Giants defense was, which was actually absolutely inexcusable, by the way, New York. that deep. I didn't even talk about that when I broke the game down. The poor tackling, got to clean that up. That's got to get better. But if they use Hill the same way they did against the Giants, that could also give them an edge in this game. That extra piece on offense for Washington had to try to worry about. But Washington's secondary has been getting absolutely just destroyed all season long by everyone. And I just don't see it being any difference, man. I see that kid on New Orleans, Callaway, potentially having a big, big day, man. A big, big day. Because I can see him getting deep on this Washington defense and just making it happen, man. So, yeah, I got the I take the Saints. I like the Saints in this one, 24-20, man. I kind of hope it goes that way for obvious reasons. But, yeah, I just don't see – I haven't seen enough consistency from this Washington team. It was a great team win on Sunday for them down in Atlanta, but I still overall haven't seen enough consistency from this team. Taylor Heineke, though, I tell you what, if he goes out there and lights the New Orleans Saints defense up, that will be enough for me to realize to fully believe in that young man's ability to be the Washington football team's quarterback going forward, man. I just can't see any scenario other than injury to Taylor Heineke now at this point that they'll put Ryan Fitzpatrick back out there on the field to take over the job again. But y'all know what time it is, man. It's time to get to the main event, man. The main event. It is Dallas Cowboy Week, baby. And I always love Cowboy Week. New York Giants, we usually traditionally play this team tough. We are going down to Jerry's World, the house that Eli Manning built. Going to go down there on Sunday for a 4 o'clock showdown. And to be quite frank, man, this is going to be a tough one, man. This is definitely going to be a tough one for Big Blue, man. Dallas Cowboys, like I earlier mentioned, they got it cooking on all cylinders, man. It's clicking, man. Everything seems to be going well for them. Offensively, it's all working. Defensively, they're bending and they're not breaking, and then they're creating turnovers at a rate like no one else is this season. Like I said, Trayvon Diggs, forget about it, man. That kid's an absolute stud, man. He is an absolute stud. Daniel Jones, don't tempt fate. Do not tempt fate in this game, Daniel Jones. Trayvon Diggs is not messing around over there, man. He is locking down a whole side of the field for the most part, man. Take that back. Retract that statement. He's not necessarily locking things down, but if you throw something crazy out there, he's cashing in on it. I put it that way. He's cashing in on that. But like I said, you can move the football against this team. It's just making the most of your opportunities. We get in the red zone in this game. Touchdowns are an absolute must. Field goals will not beat the Dallas Cowboys. Field goals, I will repeat, field goals will not beat the Dallas Cowboys. We get down in that red zone, we got to cash in. Got to cash in with touchdowns. So, yeah, so like we just gotta make this happen, man. We gotta figure out a way. I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure how we can pull this off, but I'll tell you one way we can is by doing some of the things we've been doing, which is playing good, clean football. Daniel Jones, keep continuing to play that good, clean football you've been playing, and good things can happen. Barkley definitely can run the football on this Dallas Cowboy defense. Offensive line, we do got to start figuring out a way to open up better holes for this defense, man. For our offense on running that ball. Yeah, because that's our best way of winning this football game is keeping the Cowboy offense off the field. And the best way to keep that offense off the field is by getting the run game going. And that's hitting them with everything. You know what I mean? If that's having to throw Barkley out there, or Barkley's going to obviously be out there, but if we got to mix in a little bit extra Devontae Booker this week, we got to do what we got to do to establish and get that run game going and keep them off the field, man. Absolutely. And the penalties, we do. That's a good point right there. We definitely got to limit the penalties in this one. Like, it's just that's been killing us all season, man. It almost killed us in this last game as well, man. We got to stop beating ourselves up with stupid penalties, man. And like I said, yeah, like you're saying, you're nailing it right now, Sunday. The Cowboys, man, we got to figure out a way to stop the run game for them, man, because they have established their run game the last couple of weeks against the Eagles and the Panthers on Sunday. So we have to figure out a way to stop that, to slow that down, because for our defense overall, the run defense it wasn't so good on Sunday, obviously, against the Saints. Kamara and Taysom Hill were making us look kind of stupid most of the game. But the run defense hasn't been horrible for us most of the other 3 games of this season. Hasn't been horrible, but it hasn't been necessarily great either. And I think this week we're going to need it to be great. And we got to generate a pass rush, because we got to be able to get to Dak Prescott. Otherwise, he's just going to sit back. If we give Dak Prescott all day to sit back and scan the field, he is going to eat us alive. He will eat us alive if we sit back and let him just scan downfield, look all around, and just pass the ball all around, man. So that's going to be the recipe for disaster if we cannot find a way to get to Dak Prescott. We got to find a way to create pressure however we do it. If it's if we can create pressure with our 4 down linemen, or if we got to send blitzes, we got to get home on the blitzes. If we send them blitzes, it has to happen. We got to somehow pressure Dak Prescott, because right now he's come back from that injury, and as of right now, through the first month of the season, he is very easily the comeback player of the year. Very easily. It's not even close. It's not even up for debate. Not even up for debate. He's easily has that honor in the bag as of through the first month of the season. That is easily has that honor in the bag. So if we don't get to him, it will be a long, long, long day. Their receivers, secondary better figure something out, man. Because CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, they ain't playing no games, man. Them 2 jokers right there, man, they are something special. They are something to watch, man. And not for what it's worth, man, that's getting them tight ends involved too. Blake Jarwin is steadily getting a little bit more, getting more reps, getting reacclimated back to this offense. And the other dude, Dalton Schultz, he's been flat out balling the last couple of weeks. I believe he might have led the team in targets last week. So we're going to have to just figure out a way, man. With that being said, it's that time where I got to predict a winner on this one, man. And my heart definitely wants to go one way, but keeping it all the way real like I like to do on this show, man. I just can't with a clear conscience, man. I don't know about the point spread. I think we can maybe cover the spread if any of y'all into gambling. Spread on this game right now is 7 points, a touchdown. I feel like we might be able to cover the spread, and we might be able to keep it a little bit closer than that. Because I feel like we can go. I feel like we can really move the ball and score on this team. But my biggest fear is I'm not sure if we can actually stop this team from scoring, and that's just facts. So honestly, when I did my breakdown of the schedule breakdown earlier in the summer, I picked us losing this game, and to be quite frank, I'm gonna have to probably pick us to probably lose another heartbreaker. Honestly, man. Until I see enough consistency with this New York Giant team, I'm not going to just be like, yeah, we beat New Orleans last week. We're there now. We're ready. You know what I mean? Because there hasn't been enough consistency yet. So I got to be honest and keep it real with myself, man. Cowboys have been playing flat out way better football than us. And they're at home. And we all know how them reps kind of favor them anyway, as it is. Not, just throwing that out there because it's the truth. So I'm picking the Cowboys to win this one, man. I'm picking us to be one of those like 33 to 30, 35 to 30. I say 35 to 30, man. Cowboys get us 35 to 30 and another heartbreaker, man. But hopefully, just like last week, New York Giants, y'all can prove me wrong. You know what I mean? And you proved me wrong last week. prove me wrong again. You know what I mean? I'm putting it out there, leaving it on the table for y'all, man. We all know Jerry World is the house that Eli Manning built. But Eli Manning ain't running out that tunnel no more. We got Danny Dimes. He is the new franchise quarterback, and I believe this kid is a franchise quarterback. He has been playing like one all season long so far. And Nick, he's answering all the doubters right now. Whether, like I said, they don't want to admit that they don't want to come out and admit they was wrong about the kid. But he's starting to like letting them, he's putting them all on notice right now that he's a player, man. He's definitely a player. But with that being said, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough because this Cowboy team looking kind of like a juggernaut now, man. They really are. That's just what you want me to do. I can't sit out here and make things up. I can't fabricate stuff, man. So this is going to be a fun one. They usually are. Giants Cowboy games usually are fun ones. You know what I mean? Usually, they're very rarely blowouts. And they're just always, just like I said, always just fun to watch, man. I'm going to be love seeing how our defense can match up to this offense. A little nervous, but I'm curious. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Curious. And we'll see, man. Like I said, we'll see. Because I'm also curious how our offense stacks up against their defense. Because like I said, their defense, people have moved the ball on them, but they're very opportunistic. And I want to see if they're going to be able to create those same turnovers against us that they have against everybody else. Seeing how we play, what do you think? All right. After the game on Sunday, I think this can right now, honestly, I think we can still be at least a 500 team at least. Well, I guess we can't be 500 because it's 17 games. But I think we can at least be a potential 8 or 9 win team. I'm not willing to go any more than that still right now, but I think based off of what we showed on Sunday, we can possibly get up to an 8 or 9 win team. Got to get on a roll, and we're going to have to beat some good teams. We're going to have to figure out a way to beat some really good teams. We got some really good ones coming up Sunday, so that's going to be the I initially had this when I did my schedule breakdown earlier. I had us as a 10 or 11 win team. So obviously, since the start of the season, I've scaled back on that now. And to be quite frank, before we beat New Orleans on Sunday, the way it had looked the first 3 weeks, I wasn't sure where we were getting the win from at first, because I looked down our schedule, was like I just didn't know where the win was coming from, because I didn't think we were going to go down there and beat New Orleans. Like I said, it had been a very long time since we did that. Went down there and won down there, and we did all. For what's worth, we did almost still screw this one up too. But yeah, so I figure right now, after the effort I saw though on Sunday against the Saints, I do feel like we could be maybe an 8 or 9 win team still, at the very least. Might still, I haven't seen enough to convince me that we're ready, that we can make a playoff push. But in this division, you never know, because at the end of the day, this division is still overall weak, even though the Cowboys are looking like they are definitely the cream of the crop in this division right now. Division is still overall weak, and if they can start stumbling a little bit too, it could all still be, it could still just be wide open. So yeah, that's what I got for that one, man. And like I said, 34-30 the Cowboys for right now. I can't really, I don't know. I can't really honestly think we're going to go down there and win this football game. With that being said, if we can limit our mistakes and do something that no other team has been able to do against the Cowboys, which is not turn the ball over, we got a legitimate shot. This is a division game, and all bets are off on division games, man. That's one thing I do like about divisional games, man, divisional matchups. And that goes for every division. Divisional matchups, when you're playing familiar opponents, all bets are off. Even though right now, pretty much anybody who has eyes would say the Cowboys are far superior to the New York Giants, all bets are off when you're talking about divisional games, man. So I'm thinking that the Cowboys, that we, no matter what, we're going to be competitive, and we got a legitimate shot in this one, man. But I think we'll still come up a little bit short just because the overall talent of the Dallas Cowboys, I feel like, will reign supreme. So I'm going to get ready to wrap this up, man. And what's good, Ash? How you doing, bro? Welcome on. I'm about to wrap this up and everything, man. But thanks for stopping through, bro. But yeah, y'all notice my pink ribbon up there. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So each of these games here in October, each week in October, while I'm doing this podcast, you're gonna see that pink ribbon representing breast cancer awareness, man. Because it's something we need to do something about, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. And yeah, so I'll be representing breast cancer awareness all month, man. Might see me with my pink hat on, might throw a pink shirt on or something, one of these joints. We never know, man. It's a very serious cause. We really need to find a cure for this, man, for this thing, man, because losing a lot of great people, man, from this disease, man. So with that being said, man, how about that, Sunday? I would not be mad at us trying to go out there and being aggressive and try to get this guy, man. I think he's still a pretty damn decent linebacker, and I'm pretty shocked that the Cowboys just let him go like that, man. I'm not sure. I really don't understand that move, but I'd be all on board with us going out there and trying to get Jalen Smith. I heard some things earlier saying that the Giants may not be too aggressive in trying to get him, but they do have a slight interest. I don't know why it's only a slight interest. With the way our defense is playing, we can use all the horses we can use. Anybody that wants to tackle somebody, I'm all about that. Because right now, our tackling has been atrocious through 4 games. And that, once again, like I said, coming up against these Cowboys, that's going to have to get better. That can't stay the same. What Taysom Hill did to us was embarrassing. That first touchdown that dude scored on us was a joke, man. I feel like he just ran through our whole entire defense. But I do want to thank everybody that came in the chat, hanging out with me Sunday. Appreciate you. And everybody else that came through, man, it's a good look, man. But I'm going to wrap this up, man. I'm ready to get up out of here. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan, man. And catch me on Sunday for the True Blue Preview. Peace. Please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.